And I will be interviewing my grandfather, Arthur Mylott, about World War II. Were you in the Army during the Second World War?
Yes, I was in the Army during the Second World War. I joined the Army in 1939 and got out in July of 1945.
What divisions were you in?
I was in 3 invasions. I was in the African invasion, the Sicily invasion, and the Normandy invasion.
Were you in any where were they?
The African invasion was in Tunis and Algiers. I landed in Algiers at Oran. And we went from Oran to the city of Tunis, which included the Kasserine Pass, which was one of the turning points of the Second World War.
What was the big fuss over this Kasserine Pass?
The Kasserine Pass is where Rommel, General Rommel, and General Montgomery were at a standstill in the Second World War. And we, of the American Army, the Army, 1st Division, under General Patton, attacked it with General Montgomery and destroyed the German regiment at that pass. And it was a turning point in the Second World War.
You also said you were in the Sicily and Normandy invasion. Is there anything you can tell us about each of those? Can you tell me anything about the Sicily invasion? Do you remember anything about the Sicily?
The Sicilian invasion?
Yeah.
The Sicilian invasion was in 1944, I believe, in June the 10th. And we went in the Sicilian invasion. We were at H-hour plus 2. And that means that we went in ahead of the main troops to set up OPs. It's an observation post.
Oh, okay.
And we went up in there, we set up the observation post, and we were surrounded by the Germans. They counterattacked and pushed us almost all over off the beach.
And is there anything you can tell us about the Normandy invasion?
What you want the Normandy invasion?
Yeah.
Well, the Normandy invasion is an invasion of France, and we were on Omaha Beach, and our outfit went in on the normal time, and we went in a second wave. And we went through from the Normandy Beach right on into Belgium.
Okay. And about how many days or years or even more than that were each of these invasions? Like, how long was the African invasion?
The African invasion itself, you are relating to the time of the invasion on the shore or the whole?
Just the time between when you landed and by the time you got out of there.
Well, it was about 4 months.
4 months?
The African invasion.
What about Sicily?
It was 2 months.
And
your European invasion.
The Normandy invasion?
Normandy invasion. I think about 8 months. I'm not sure.
Okay. And what were your jobs in these invasions?
My job in the invasion, I was attached to the lieutenant, which was in charge of the reconnaissance platoon. To report to him, and I operated a 195 radio. I was also a scout.
Okay.
Which I would move ahead of all the troops and look for the enemy and would report back to headquarters with the results.
What were your sleeping quarters like?
Sleeping quarters, we slept wherever we could, and we slept in foxholes, and on the ground, or we slept in vacant houses, or in the forest. And
What was the food like?
food was mostly K-ration, which consists of chocolate bars and canned food, and coffee and powdered milk, and like that, and whatever we could scrounge off the ground.
Did you have any close friends during this
Yes,
war?
I had one Jesse Layton, which later on, during the Normandy invasion, he was shot in the back.
Hmm. He died?
Yes, he died.
Um, did you receive any medals for your actions?
I received a medal for my action in the Sicilian invasion because what I went out, as I said before, we set up with an OP and we were surrounded. I had went down and repaired wire for a contact to an artillery barrage, and I received it for repairing the wire, which enabled us to be in constant contact with the headquarters.
And did you receive a Purple Heart?
Yes, I received a Purple Heart in Germany belt-wise from a shrapnel wound from a tank.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
All the anti-craft personnel, in which our platoon, most of it was in one craft. And we landed on the shores of Sicily, June the 10th, I believe it was. And we landed HR plus 2. I mean HR minus 2, which means we were HR 2 hours before the original invasion time. We went ashore to go set up OPs, observation posts, in order to observe where the enemy were and our troops were. And we were in constant contact with the battleships, artillery. We ordered fire on the enemy when we found them.
This is a map of the North African invasion, also known as Operation Torch. My grandfather went in on the Center Task Force. This is a map of the invasion of Sicily. My grandfather went in on June 10th. He came from Tunisia. This is a map of the invasion of Normandy. Normandy is located in northern France. Gold, Juno, and Sword are where the British troops landed. Utah and Omaha is where the American troops landed. My grandfather landed in Omaha.